What if I told you that you've been doing YouTube wrong? There is a lot of advice out there on how to grow on YouTube, but a lot of it is outdated. Competition has been increasing extremely fast, and if you're not locking into these 5 points of using YouTube for your business, you're honestly just wasting your time and your effort. In this video, I'm going to be revealing what actually works on YouTube so that you could take these 5 points, lock them into your business, and start generating daily leads from YouTube. From somebody that used YouTube as the only client acquisition system in my business and grew it from 0 to 6 figures just in the first year, I've implemented all of these strategies, and these allow me to get in hot leads to my business every single day where I'm actually excited to get on the sales calls. So if you're already making content for your business or it's something you're considering doing, it's a goal of yours, this video will be a blueprint on strategies to implement to start getting leads right away and growing your brand as fast and as big as possible. All right, so a big trend that has been working on YouTube is really to over deliver on value. No more holding things back. People want it all. And this really comes down to a shift in the viewer expectations as of recently. There is so much information on the internet right now. I think we could all agree that anything you want to know, you could Google it, and 5 seconds later, you could choose between many different blogs or many different YouTube videos covering the same exact subjects. And the problem with that is that people will always choose the person that they've watched before that provided the most value, or a new person if they're providing the value they're looking for. People no longer want surface level advice. They want specifics that feel inclusive and are genuinely helpful, but also actionable steps they could implement right away to start seeing a difference in their lives. I feel like there's so much information out there, but what really lacks right now is the nuances and actionable steps. And the people who are providing these two things are the ones who are truly growing and outshining their competition. And it's really the minor steps you could include in your content that could make the biggest difference for someone. As we are in a huge trust recession, there was the biggest study done, and we are at the lowest level of trust in about 40 years, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So the way to increase your trust is to provide more value, spend more time with them, and of course, get exposed to them. You want to think of your content as a free sample at the store. If the sample is exceptional, the customer is going to buy the whole product. And this has been a big theme with Hormozi, and he's really influenced the business market space by telling them to give everything away for free. Give your most valuable advice for free, because if you do that, then people will automatically assume that your paid solution is going to be even better than that. And a lot of times it is, because your paid solution might be one-on-one coaching, it might be done for you services. So there is still value in them doing a transaction with you, but their perceived value of doing a transaction with you is only going to increase if you provide so much value in your videos. So to implement this in your business, I want you to think of these questions. When you're making content, ask yourself, how can I further elaborate on this? How can I provide more actionable steps they could take right away? What nuances am I leaving out? What would my audience's next question be after hearing this? Is this easy enough to understand and actionable enough to implement? So the more you share is going to be better. It's going to be better for your brand, for client trust, for bringing viewers into your world, and for people to remember you. No more leaving things out, even if you think, oh my gosh, it took me 3 years to learn this. Now I'm just going to tell the world in a 20-minute video. Yes, you should. Don't withhold information because somebody else will teach it to them. They're going to appreciate you. They're going to remember you if you tell them everything you know about a subject matter. So as you're making and reviewing your content, ask yourself, are you giving away information just enough to cover the surface? Or are you diving as deep as possible with the sole focus of solving your audience's problems? And these next few points that I'm about to go over, we've been seeing a huge trend in the top content creators actually implementing these strategies into their business, and I have as well, and it's only led me more clients, more people to serve, and more success. success. So number 2 is going to be sharing your deep beliefs about life, about how you conduct yourself, about business, about everything. And a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't want to do that. I don't want people to know this. What if I'm leaving out a big audience because they don't resonate with that belief? Well, chances are what you're going to do is attract more people who resonate with that belief even stronger. And if someone doesn't share a deep belief of yours, it might not be the best person to work with. But it tends to be that the more people you work with that resonate with your beliefs become your loyal fans. They're telling everybody about you. They are rebuying your products or staying longer for your services. And the whole entire client process and working together is so much more enjoyable because you guys have a common ground on the beliefs that you share. Think of people like Dave Ramsey. He's huge in the content space and he openly shares his beliefs about being Christian. And that's what really builds a deeper connection with his audience. And they might see that and be like, oh, he's Christian. I didn't know that. I like him even more. Follow, subscribe, like, and listen a little bit closer on what he's saying. Because something like that, being a Christian, just shows the way you conduct your life. It shows your innermost beliefs. And if other people share that same religion, same beliefs, then they're really going to resonate with what he says and his approach to things. Because it's really the principles of the religion and the belief that people will resonate with. And if you live your life with the same principles that he does, then it'll honestly just build a better relationship. And it will make your content resonate on a deeper level. And it'll also differentiate yourself in a crowded space. If 5 people are making content on how to run LinkedIn ads, for example, and one of them you know is a Christian, then you might be inclined to go with them if you're also a Christian. Here's some questions you could ask yourself as you're coming up with a strategy to share your beliefs. What belief do I hold that my audience might find surprising? How can I link this belief to my audience's current struggles? Do I have a story that made this belief true for me? Am I presenting this belief in a way that feels actionable? And have I explained how this belief makes me different than others in my niche? Do you want viewers that align with your values, or do you want followers that skim through your content? That's the difference that beliefs could make on your audience's reaction to your content. It's about building true followers, your tribe, and truly people that resonate with you, your lifestyle, your way of teaching, and your business. And personally, that's been the case with me. If I'm following a content creator and then all of a sudden I find out that they're Christian, they follow God, I do also, so that just makes me resonate with them so much more. I'm like instantly, like my ears perk up at things they say. Instantly I subscribe and I want to follow along on their journey. I know that they stand for good, and my risk of doing business with them just goes down because I have a belief that they'll do what's right at the end of the day. And that's where you see a lot of content creators going, is sharing deep values and deep beliefs, because even if you outcast some people, you're going to build an even larger, more loyal audience that share your values, and you could grow a big business and serve your ideal customer. If you guys are looking to grow your business on YouTube, feel free to hit the first link in the description. That'll prompt you to book a call with me. We could go over a game plan, a strategy, find out more about your business, see if it's a good fit for YouTube, and explore how we can help you scale your business with YouTube and attract leads every single day. Number 3 would be sharing your unique self and your personality. I used to think that I had to act like somebody else or anyone else in my niche to find success on YouTube. If they're doing it and they're acting that way, then it has to work for me. I mimicked other creators. I copied their tone. I copied how they came across and how they taught their audience. And guess what? I got nowhere doing that. My videos felt fake and the audience could sense it. Then one day, after looking at my analytics, realizing that my growth was pretty much halted, I decided to embrace myself, my teaching style, how I came across, even my flaws. And that is when things changed, because people started connecting truly with me, not the version that I thought that they wanted me to be. The moment I stopped pretending was the moment that my channel started growing. Taking a look at the analytics. I literally have data to prove it. So I want you to stop being what you think people want you to be and truly tap into being yourself. The audience that resonates with you is waiting for you. It's called YouTube. You have to be yourself or it's never going to work. And to try to copy somebody else and mimic their tone, mimic them is way more exhausting than just coming across how you naturally would, and it allows you to make more content and make it an easier process. So here's how you could do this. You want to tap into personality traits and you want to figure out which ones you have and which ones you want to almost amplify on camera. There's things like relatability, thoughtfulness, humor, maybe some dry humor, optimistic, intense, sarcastic, or maybe you're sincere. You could honestly just Google a list of personality traits and you could look through and think, which one of these would people most likely describe me as? Boil them down, get your 5 personality traits, and really amplify those in your videos. And also be vulnerable. Share stories that highlight your personal struggles or your triumphs, because again, you're going to relate better with your audience and they're going to have a backstory on who you are and honestly what you are to them. And show your quirks. Whether it's your sense of humor, unique perspectives, or even just your way of explaining things, let it shine. Avoid over polishing too. A lot of people tell me, I can't get into content because I am not good on camera. It's not going to look good. And I honestly say that that's a great position to be in because authenticity beats perfection, especially on the YouTube platform. If you look at the biggest creators like Emma Chamberlain and people who were sitting crisscross applesauce on their bed, just being themselves and telling stories, are the ones that had the most success. People want real, they want authentic. We're all human and we resonate with other humans. Nobody wants a painted picture because it seems fake, unreal, and like they're hiding things. Be yourself. That's what people really connect with. And to dive even deeper into this, I want you to ask yourself these questions. What unique combination of skills do you have? What personal background do you have that gives you a different perspective? How do your friends say that you're different than others? And what topics light you up but also help others? These will help you nail down your personality and how that could shine through on camera. And if you really want to stand out, you could share things like specific challenges you've overcome, especially if that will relate to your audience, unconventional methods you've developed, combinations of experiences that most people don't have, and problems you've solved differently maybe than others. Personality is a cheat code to standing out right away and start growing your own audience. Don't leave it out. Do not leave it out, but amplify it even more. And ask yourself this. Are you showing up as the version of yourself that your audience can connect with? Or are you just another face in the crowd? Be honest with yourself. Next is number 4. This is extremely important, especially as YouTube has becoming more competitive, and it's going to be trying a different positioning approach. A huge mistake I see people make when they get into YouTube is look up a video in their niche, see someone made it, literally make the same idea, same title, same thumbnail, and it just looks like a second version of that video by someone else. Now, the audience could tell that that's copied. Say the first one got 300,000 views. This next one will not, because that need in the market has already been filled. Why would they watch this if it's not introducing something new? An easy way to do this is literally, if you want to just fix the packaging, you could put how to actually do this and make it different. Now, you could try a different positioning post both with the video idea and the packaging. You don't want to shout louder than the other person, but you want to frame yourself in a unique way that's almost impossible to ignore. Imagine a red ocean that is full of sharks. They are all fighting for the same prey. It's chaotic, it's competitive, and it's bloody. But then picture a blue ocean. Calm, open, and full of opportunity. Most people create YouTube content in the red ocean, trying to outdo their competition and fight for the win. But by taking a different marketing approach, you could create your own blue ocean where there's no competition because you've carved out a space only you occupy. So once information is saturated, you become the unique mechanism. All that's left is who they choose to work with. So positioning yourself in the blue ocean, filling a need that's never been filled before, allows more people to gravitate towards you, your ideas, and ultimately opens up a whole new market instead of competing for the scrap. So there's different ways that you could do this in your content. Number one would be basically to boil the concept down as fast as possible. So if someone has a 30-minute version of something, maybe make it into a 10-minute version and put that in the packaging as well so they know it's different by saying, learn this as fast as possible. Another way would be to make it simpler. So take a complex idea and simplify it and make maybe the title, I simplified XYZ. Or you can make it more entertaining, wrap it into a challenge style video and make the payoff higher, along with make it more engaging to watch. Or add more social proof, show your credibility, show that in the packaging. I've helped X amount of business owners scale their business in 30 days. And that credibility will be its own blue ocean by itself because you're not competing with anyone that's making the same claims as you. Or you could just provide way more value than anyone else, maybe drop a full free course on your topic, and that alone will surpass other people in your niche because you're providing the most value in that niche. And ways to do this in your packaging could honestly be as simple as putting how to actually instead of how to. How to actually is actually sharing information and saying that all the other information doesn't really tell you how to do it. This is how to actually do it. Or like I said, I simplified XYZ. That shows you simplified a complex topic, and that's valuable. Another way is to call out your ideal audience. So, say it's beginners or experts. How to start Facebook ads for beginners. You could do this even if you're dumb. You could even go as far as something like that. Or say how to start a real estate business with $0, for example, instead of just how to start a real estate business. So positioning yourself is packaging yourself differently, calling out a different audience, and making yourself different than a well-performing topic. But what you could also do is take a look at different niches that might align with the same things, such as car rental coaching versus house rental coaching, like Airbnbs and short-term and long-term rentals. So if something's doing well in the car rental coaching space, it might do well in the real estate rental space. So you could take inspiration, and if it's never been done in your niche before, you could kind of create your own little video on something that's performed well because you have the model of success. Now just bring it over into your niche instead of trying something brand new that might have no track record of success. There's a video could not do well. There's a chance though that you could create something that is a trend starter. So never be scared to experiment and try new things. But when building your channel, I always like to model other success formats that have worked in the past just to get a little leg up. To simplify, if they don't feel this is a new video, a new ideation, a new philosophy, then they're not going to have a reason to click on it because that need was already filled. So, like I said, do something new, do something different, and position yourself differently. Do not copy people in your niche, it will not work. And number 5, this is so overlooked, but I think it's the most important foundational piece of being a good YouTuber and getting clients from your videos, and that's going to be becoming a better teacher and persuader. YouTube is basically just communication at scale. This is why you see like preachers like Myron Golden do so well in front of the camera because they are excellent communicators. They had to communicate in front of audiences of people in person, years and years and years of experience with communication and getting their message across. You put them on camera and they're pretty much natural and very, very great at it. And that's why they gain such a fast audience right away because they already have the communication skills. But if maybe you're not a good communicator, you've never done sales before, you're more of an introvert, you could still do well on YouTube. But I would recommend looking into maybe reading communication books, getting out there, doing some cold calls or just getting some experience talking to people, because that's going to come across in your videos along with the persuasion. I would definitely study that. Study the way that the top leaders in the world have persuaded and exactly how they do that. Because things like analogies, simplifying complex ideas, providing social proof and credibility, engaging your videos with visuals and showing examples and painting a vivid picture that they can imagine in their brain is all going to be extremely valuable to your channel, getting your message across and reaching a larger audience. And you definitely should speak to their emotions. Remember, facts tell, stories sell. Anywhere you could implement a story, it's only going to make you resonate with your audience better, have them remember what you actually taught them better, connect with them deeper, and get your message across in a way that's going to allow you to actually connect with people. And you always want to have a call to action, tell your audience what to do next, along with ask powerful and rhetorical questions. Prompt them to reflect, engage their brains, because if you could engage them actually, then that's going to be a substantial thing to get them to engage with your content. Definitely incorporate relatability and credibility in your videos, not only so that people could relate to your situation, but also know why to listen to you. You're qualified to speak on this, so it's going to perk up their ears and they're going to listen to what you have to say. But that's the importance of studying communication, study persuasion, study teaching, and using analogies and metaphors, relating something they don't know to something they do know to help them understand it better and quicker. This is all coming into YouTube. If you teach something like I teach YouTube for business owners, then my teaching skills will come across and I will actually be helping my audience learn and not just blabbering about anything. So, honestly, it's going to impact your channel, your business, and your life getting better communication skills. It might not be easy. It really might not be easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but once you master the skill of communication, you could have anything you want in life. It's kind of like a Netflix show versus a lecture. A lecture gives you information, sure, but a Netflix show keeps you glued to your screen waiting to see what's going to happen next. And why does it do that? Well, because it tells a story, it builds suspense, and it connects emotionally. Your YouTube channel needs to be the Netflix show of your niche. Yes, you want to teach, but you want to do it in a way that hooks your audience in and makes them want to binge your content, thinking, wow, this is great. I need more of this. You want to get them addicted to your content because it's that good. And ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Is your YouTube channel the Netflix show of your niche where even you want to rewatch your videos? Or is it another boring lecture that you can't stand to watch? Now, some boring lectures might do well if you're appealing to business owners. If you're breaking down, maybe it's more boring information through a Google Doc, but you could still find ways to make that more engaging for the overall viewer experience. Because nobody likes a lecture that they don't understand, that doesn't relate to them, that doesn't get them engaged. You know what happens at lectures. People go to sleep. Boring is not good. Spice it up. Learn communication, learn persuasion, learn sales, and learn how this can be applied and come across in your content, and your purpose of serving more people will come true. And if you do want to learn how YouTube generates us high quality leads every single day and truly how it could change your business, your life, increase your close rates, increase your cash per close, increase your show rates, and have a snowball effect on your business, building yourself the dream business of your life, no more chasing clients, no more wasting time on unqualified prospects, then I want you to click the first link in the description. There you'll be able to check out some more information on using YouTube for your business, along with book a call with us. We could just go one-on-one with you, see your struggles, see where you're at in your business, and see if YouTube could be applied to make your channel a lead generating machine. We could literally help you build your whole channel out where all you have to do is film. YouTube has been a game changer for us in our business, and that's why we're so passionate about it. So make sure to go to that link in the description, subscribe for more information on using YouTube for your business, and we will see you in the next video.